Ayia Napa is one of the best tourist resorts in the eastern Mediterranean. Located on the southeast tip of Cyprus, Ayia Napa is famous for its sandy beaches and modern hotels. It's a favoured destination for a large number of foreign visitors that cherish the warm Cyprus climate and enjoy the sun in some naturally heavenly beaches in an area of the island that's rich in natural beauties. Every city, no matter how small, needs direct access to drinkable water. The area lacks any natural rivers or lakes, but from the early Hellenistic years, there are signs of significant waterworks that were bringing water to the ancient settlements scattered around the area. The remaining aqueduct is just the latest diversion of one that used to be longer and bigger, dated from the Roman period. It was bringing water from the hills northeast of Ayia Napa all the way to the ancient site of Throni, which lies just north of the western part of the area at Ayia Thekla, near the Macronissos tombs. The original source of the water, which fed the aqueduct, is yet to be discovered. The water travelled through a subterranean rock-cut channel, which ended at the locality Manadounerou, meaning the source of water. The aqueduct ran all the way from Manadounerou to the monastery, following the natural contours of the bedrock. The Ayia Napa aqueduct has undergone many repairs throughout history by the rulers of the island. Water was essential for the local community, as the lack of copper in the area concludes that the locals were mainly farmers and fishermen. For different reasons nowadays, it has undergone an extensive and detailed conservation. The municipality of Ayia Napa has expended a considerable amount of money for the conservation of the medieval convent and the aqueduct within the frameworks of the Interreg III programme. The greater part of the construction, as it now appears, is according to the Roman system. The channel is made of 70 centimetre long monolithic blocks of limestone carved in advance. A 70 centimetre wide wall built of irregular limestone supports the channel. These monolithic blocks are joined together with hydraulic plaster. Most of the length of the aqueduct ran either beneath the surface of the ground or was covered entirely in order to keep the water free from disease and helped protect the aqueduct from enemy attack. The channel proper is 14 centimetres wide at the lower part, widening upwards to 18 centimetres. The long use of the aqueduct, in combination with the rich in calcium carbonate water, resulted in the quick covering of all inner surfaces of the structure with crystallised salts, making any leakage impossible. The inclination of the aqueduct was estimated to 1.6% and proved to be ideal in allowing the water to progress smoothly, even at the open parts of the channel at the highest points over the massive wall. The Ayia Napa aqueduct is an extremely sophisticated construction. It requires a comprehensive system of regular maintenance to repair accidental breaches, to clear the lines of debris and to remove build-up of chemicals, such as calcium carbonate, that naturally occur in water. For that purpose, some monolithic troughs incorporated along the route of the channel acted as settling chambers, being much deeper than the actual channel in order to connect heavy impurities. At the same time, these intercepting chambers facilitated the smooth running of water at the start of each curve. At a place where the aqueduct is intersected by a deep stream, a massive wall of dressed stones was built to support the channel, and an opening, shaped like a pointed arch, was left for the stream water to flow through. The height of the wall varies from 1 metre to 12.28 metres at the central point of the stream over the arch. The shape of the arch is typical of the Frankish and later periods in Cyprus and provides some evidence of the time the aqueduct was repaired. The aqueduct reappears outside the monastery, where at a deep point before the monastic buildings, it is supported on a 3-metre wall. Then, it runs parallel to the north outer wall of the cells, and after passing under the private house, it enters a courtyard. Inside the courtyard of the monastery, time seems to have stopped. The water is discharged through a head of a boar, carved in marble, into a basin. A photograph taken by William Hurrell Mallock in 1887 shows 3 women filling jars inside the monastery, a fact attesting that the aqueduct was in use at least at that time. A pipe within the courtyard diverted water to a sculptured fountain right in the centre of the yard. The fountain is roofed by a stone-built dome supported by 4 arches. Finally, the water is conveyed under the courtyard and the southern buildings of the Ayia Napa monastery, stored in a huge reservoir built under a sycamore tree, one of the very few examples of this species found on the island. This tree is as old as the village and still grows right at the edge of the water. Along with the creation of the aqueduct came civilization. According to local tradition and storytelling, when the monastery was first established around 1500 AC, it attracted the attention of a young, noble lady from Venice, who then lived in Famagusta. It is said that her father had strictly forbidden her to marry the man she loved on the pretext that he was a commoner. So, she left home and sought refuge in Ayia Napa. She eventually commissioned the building of a church and some monastic cells, and in this way, the monastery came into being. Naturally, the small village emerged around the monastery and grew to a town in the late 20th century. In this amazing spot of the planet, life, in order to prevail, needed water. But it most certainly needed love as well.